but football, bloody hell. But they never give in. That's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out.
We've got to be the...
Get out, sir. Get out. What a rough derby for Manchester United. Did we play to win the game?
Ooh, sir, how we doing? How we doing? Lucky enough for us, we only have to play Manchester City twice a year in the league. Hey, man, there is a huge chasm between these two clubs, and it pains me to say it because I'm as big of a Manchester United fan as you find, but at the end of the day, we could have played a lot better than we played today and still lost, and still got blown out of the park. We did get blown out of the park. 3-0, United lose with a whimper. Really didn't lay many gloves on Manchester City. The feeling I got today watching the game, sir, watching it up away for the weekend, a holiday, you know how that is, frantic stuff. It felt like us playing Barcelona in 09 and 11. Like the team, they're just so much better of a team than we are. And that pains, they are, from a squad level perspective, obviously mentality, obviously winning. They just won the treble, the best team in the world. And they played us off the park, bro. I got nothing to say. Obviously question marks about the 11. Obviously question marks about the mentality of this squad, how soft they are. They rolled over. But at the end of the day, this is just about football. And football is about building the squad. And their squad is miles ahead of us. And they spent the same amount of money as we have.
Oh, we spent more.
Yeah, and we're one of the worst run clubs in the league. And they're one of the best run clubs in the world. So that's what happens. You know, if you spend it poorly, you end up with Anthony on the wing for 85 million pounds, and there you go.
You know, there is a component of coaching, you know, in that equation. City were organized. You saw them late in the game making gut-busting runs to ensure they kept a clean sheet. And you saw a lot of whinging from our captain, a lot of giving up, a lot of shoulder shrugging from Manchester United. There is something about the cohesiveness, the organization, the way we can get back in line after losing the ball. We just don't have the discipline. It's a mess. It's slop shop FC. Look, we played a very defensive game. That's why I'm saying you play to win the game. I felt like we needed a little bravery at home. We went, Lindelof at left back. Kind of, what do you mean? Scott McTominay playing at number 10. Even Højlund and Rashford were up in like a 2. I didn't really understand the tactics from the manager. And then the adjustments at halftime, taking off. Amrabat, the only CDM we had, opened the game. City blew it open. After that, Onana, without him stepping up huge, you got to say the positives for United where Onana had a great game. Great game from the keeper. You lose 3-0. Should have been like 5, 6. Easy. I mean, I think that's what I predicted with Holland game, maybe 3 or 4. But Onana, like, making it not an embarrassing scoreline, and it's a shameful thing to say, not an embarrassing scoreline. But what you said is true. It's like the money spent. That's really the problem from the top, but I have to think that you could have a more organized, more disciplined team that plays better football than the way we've been playing for 14 games. 14 games this season. One of those games we came out, looked good, dominated, and that was against the Crystal Palace B team in the EFL Cup. We have struggled to make the right 11 and the adjustments, and it's hard to watch. This one was kind of like everyone gave up before the game started.
Manchester United are a mess, And Manchester United have been a mess for 5 years. There was we got beat 6-3 in 2011 or 6-1 or whatever the fuck it was. Then obviously the Ole blowouts. This is another blowout. The blowout last year, even before the season started turning. And United are just miles behind Manchester City. I totally agree. 11, you could tinker a little bit. Obviously, we still have a lot of injuries, but the midfield points, like you said, Bruno out of position never works. I could kind of see what he was trying to do. Like he was trying to get the ball turned over further up the pitch and then break on them on a counter, which that's what Ole did successfully during his initial tenure and beat City many times on the counter. It's just that when we did try to counter and had opportunities to, we would basically slip on a banana peel. But the lack of heart, the lack of coach's ability to figure things out when he was able to figure shit out last year. And it's open heart surgery, bro. Remember what Ralph Rangnick said? It's like, this team's a joke. It's a mess.
We spent
have
$400
players that
million
don't
since
belong
then.
there, and you have $400 million spent by one manager without having a director of football to push back on him. So that's what no football clubs do in the elite world of global football, but we do it, and that's why Richard Arnold and John Murtaugh will hopefully lose their jobs if Ratcliffe is able to successfully pull off the minority deal with control of the football operations. But United's, dude, we're like miles off of it. And that's the thing is like, if we got the 11 right, if we had everybody available, if we played really well, we still could have gotten beaten 2-3-0 because they're just much better squad than we are. They are, bro. No, they are.
That's soft mentality.
Who's making
honestly.
it from our 11 in their 11?
I'm not worried about so like
Soft mentality. That's just reality.
We can make it all about Man City and losing on the day, right? Like, yeah, they're a great team. We played them. We lost, right? We can make it all about City and how they're great and they spent money and they have this world-class organization with the greatest manager, one of the greatest manager of all time at the helm. That's fair. That's valid. I'm saying 14 games in, we are playing horrid football. We are bad. We are bad against Sheffield United. We're bad against Man City. I don't understand it. I don't understand how we're playing. We bring in Onana like we're going to have possession, build out the back. Then we're playing hoofball to counter. Like, that's what we're doing, hero ball. It looks like there is no plan. And the team, it lacks discipline. And we lack effort at Manchester United. And those things can't stand. I don't know if it's the manager's fault. I don't know if the players are giving up on him. I don't know what the hell is going on behind the scenes. That's the real issue is like nobody knows what the hell is going on with this club at the moment. But we spent a ton of money. We got good players out there. McTominay's a player. Hoyland's a player. Rashford's a player. Bruno's a player. Ericsson's got it. Amrabat, I don't know. Like, Johnny Evans passed it.
Johnny
Magoo
Evans is the
can
fucking
do
11,
something.
bro.
Delo's not horrible. I mean, you're talking a collection of
Look
players.
at their
that are
11.
not, like,
Look at their 11.
I'm just saying.
Foden, Holland, Grealish,
It's not about
Silva.
City. It's
It is
about
City.
this team should play better than we've seen over 14 games. It's not one game. It's not 3 games. It's 14 games. We are not playing well against Sheffield United, against Copenhagen, or City. It's the same thing every game, and I have no idea what the cause of the issue is. Clearly, the everything at the club is a mess. But these tactics, the effort and the organization from this team is mashed potatoes, right? And that's on the players, and that's on the manager.
They all deserve blame. And you have to be able to accept like 5 countervailing things at the same time. City could be miles ahead of us, and we could have played like shit, and the players lack gumption and heart, and the manager is fucking up at the moment.
Yeah,
Like,
but there's
all
reasons.
of those things can be true at the exact same time. It's not just one thing. It's not absolute sum. It's like, yes, this team is not nearly good enough. Yes, the manager is in a bad way. Yes, we're not playing good football. And yes, City are a way better team than we are. And at the end of the day, dude, this team is like a chicken without its head on. We're running around the field. We have no idea what we're doing all over the place. But we can't lose hope yet. We have to try and have some sense of positivity and turn this around because we ain't winning the title, but we have to finish in the top 4. We have to advance some cups. Don't laugh at that. We do, bro. You think we're winning the title? You're
We're not
fucking
winning.
delusional.
I don't think we're winning the title. Of
course not.
I think
Top 4 would be a huge achievement given how competitive it's turned out
Top
to be
4
this
would
year.
be like the achievement.
Yes, that's the goal. We're a top 4 team.
That I don't know if we're a top 4 team anymore. But last season we finished in the top 4. This season, only time will tell. Quick PSA for the podcast. You like the American Red Devils? You can feel that the Alex and John we're wearing our heart on our sleeves. This is a tough day. This is just like a culmination of just like 14 rough matches. It's a lot of football, a lot of time.
It's 11
spent.
But rough matches, bro. It's like we've been doing this for a decade.
We saw some good football along the way, certain patches. Yeah, But look, we're here. We're watching every single game, no matter how bad it gets. And you want to support us? We're 100% fan backed. We don't have any sponsors on the podcast. The way we do that is because we have some amazing fans who support us on Patreon. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/America Red Devils. Behind the scenes episode every single month. Tons of benefits. Please check it out. Also, our store, AmericaRedDevils.store. Support us by grabbing a scarf, a shirt, stickers, pins, beanies, hoodies. Winter's coming. It's getting cold. You got to bundle up. Watch these amazing games, sir. Also, AmericaRedDevils.com. Great fan-generated blog content. Tell them about iTunes reviews, brother.
iTunes reviews or 5-star reviews of the American Red Devils podcast. Wherever you listen, it's a great way to support the pod. It helps us get found organically by other top Muppets who enjoy pain as much as you and I do. And even better, we're giving away free ARD design scarves. All you have to do is write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. Send a screenshot to americadoubles@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll personally pick, pack, and ship a free ARD scarf. Send it right to your door anywhere in the world. Oof, I don't have a review in front of me, but they're coming in hot. We appreciate them all. Get them in. Send us a screenshot with your mailing address, and I'll get that scarf. So you ready to walk through the pain train?
Let's go. All right, sir. Interesting 11 from the manager. We had Nana in net, Delo at right back, Magoo, Johnny Evans, center back pairing, Lindelof at left back, Eriksson, Amrabat, McTominay midfield, Bruno on the right, Højlund up top, and Rashford on the left. What'd you make about this 11 from the manager?
On paper, it raised question marks, of course. Where's Reguilón? Probably not match fitness. What happened to fucking Varane? Is he injured again? Johnny Evans, that gave me heartburn.
He said tactics.
No Casemiro.
He said Evans Lindelof was tactical, not injury related before the match. That was the big controversy from the manager. You're saying it's fitness. The excuse factory is working. He said tactical.
I'm done making excuses, bro.
He said tactical. There's no injuries.
But here's the thing. You think managers always tell the truth? You think they want to hide an injury sometimes? I'm just playing devil's advocate because sure, the 11's a joke, according to everybody, but I can kind of see what they're trying to do. But tell me your thoughts, sir.
I'm just saying. I would be more interested in what he's trying to do here. What do you say he's trying to do?
I think he was trying to win the ball up high up the pitch, and that's why he had McTominay up in the box so he could press from the front and then try and break on them while playing defensively sound, which worked for a little bit until they were peppering us from the minute one. Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, look, let's jump in here. Early, there was a quick turnover. Bruno won the ball. Højlund was outside. He opts for a left-footed shot. But, it's one of those things where this opportunity that came, we couldn't finish. And that was it, really, from United. I thought we kind of looked solid for, 20, 22, 23 minutes, but they were growing into the game. 8th minute, Rodri clips a wonderful pass into Walker, who heads it near post. Foden nods a first-time header towards the top left corner. Haaland on the follow-up. Onana with his first big save of the match. There would be a few of these. Should have been a goal from Erling Haaland here in the 8th minute. So City kind of finding their way through that defensive block from Manchester United at home.
And you know what? Just to be a little bit positive today, because Jesus Christ, we don't want to all have a really bad weekend, which is that Onana, he's had a terrible start to his career, but today he was class. He was the best United player by a fucking mile, and he kept it so it was 3-0, not 6-0, and that does matter. So good on Onana because he had some big saves this game.
20th minute curler from Grealish. Onana wise to it, parries it out for a corner, sir. And then obviously the big controversial moment here from a corner in the 22nd minute. We'll play through the penalty.
And Diaz, solidly defended by his countryman Dalot. And there is a check underway from the VAR about a possible penalty for a challenge on Rodri. Paul Tierney is the one that's got to make a decision on the basis of these pictures that we are seeing and he is seeing.
He's not convinced, is he, Paul Tierney?
He's not.
He's going to give it, though.
He is, and he has. And Manchester City in the derby have a penalty kick at the Stretford end. Erling Haaland has broken down most barriers. Hat-trick against United at the Etihad. And now his first derby goal at Old Trafford. And Manchester City are making the early running here. It's as anticipated. Lots of raised eyebrows at Manchester United's approach and selection. And City...
Alrighty, there you go. The dagger, the VAR call, sir. Let him have it.
We've said it all before, bro. It's here's the thing. The officiating in this league for the most valuable, most popular league in the entire fucking world, it's atrocious. It's atrocious. It's game to game. And here's the real thing. A, it shouldn't be a penalty. It's soft as fuck. B, Bro, they're the best team in the world. They're stacked to the gills. They literally bought a defender I've never heard of for $100 million, and we're playing Johnny Evans, and they still have to dive. I mean, they still have to dive because he gets pulled back right here. There's a pullback on Hoyland like 10 minutes later that if he just fell over by the same merit, it would be a penalty. So
your lips are moving and you're complaining about something. That's whinging.
So I only did that to get you fired up. I only did that to get the temperature.
The fire rises.
Soundboard too much, sir. Look, VAR brutal. I don't think anyone's arguing with United fans for being hard done by that one. It's like you're already up against it with City playing a super defensive 11, and then they just get this free penalty.
you think it's a penalty, Mr. Anti-whinge, bro? Like, what kind of fucking podcast do you think it's gonna be if we're not gonna be fucking whinging? You're the biggest whinger I know. Where's my goddamn soundboard? Is that a penalty? Is that fucking grab back little bitch move a penalty? Talk to me.
I couldn't help myself.
Instead of rubbing salt in my open eyeball, is that a penalty, John America Red Devil superfan? Like, what the fuck?
Sir, I just did it to get you. That was
Where the fuck is mine?
troll move here.
Yeah, you know what?
Move,
Fuck
like
off.
a troll move. We each have our own soundboards.
Yeah, but I don't have the fucking whinging, bro. I got seagulls.
Okay, so let's back up here. So of course it's not a pen, but the thing is, just comes down to these like the nervy VAR guys they got.
Was that amazing? The quote, like, he's not confident, but he's gonna give it. I mean, that's the ultimate VAR quote.
It's like that's not a pen. You give that we don't even need to address it. It's just like it's not a penalty. The pullback, it's like we've seen this a million times. Harry Magoo tackling people in the box. It happens all. If you called every one of those, it would be a million pens, and there'd be no reason to play the game. So look, hard done by that one. But I actually thought this was a moment in the game. We're at home, up against it. The odds are in City's favor. They get gifted this penalty. It's about the reaction. How are you going to react? Where's the fire from the lads? That's what I was looking for at the end of the day. And, we ultimately didn't see it, Another chance. Foden sends Hoyland. Oh, this is Hoyland. Turns it over from Foden. He kind of you're right. There was a hand on his shoulder from John Stones here. A little bit of a shout.
He didn't dive.
Then, Ederson came in, didn't make contact. I think Hoyland should have done a little better there.
He should have.
I think it was a little clunky. He was wearing Lukaku boots, honestly, with this one. This should have been a goal. If you're really thinking about it, number 9, who's locked on, should slip this one by.
And that's the thing is like they had tons of chances. I'm sure their XG was eye-bleedingly high. But like we need to take advantage of our chances because you're not going to get as many. You're playing against a team that's much better than you. They are. So this chance, the Rashford chance in the second half, you just need to take the chances you get because you get so few of them that you can't like bluster. We had some breaks at the end of the first half where we were literally falling over ourselves. Couldn't make a pass, didn't even get a shot off. And you can't do that.
2 opportunities to end the half in the first half stoppage time. McTominay had a great boot. Rashford put him through. Ederson was wise to it in the 47th. And then Rashford had, I want to say Holland had another stop in the 49th. Or Onana had a stop on Holland in the 49th minute. So 2 big chances at either end. Look, I mean, the opportunity for United is the reaction wasn't there after the penalty. Just the table was tilted. The tide was turning. The halftime change was coming. The Amrabat yellow in the 42nd probably led to it. But Ten Hag makes the swap. Mason Mount. Where's the Mason Mount fan club? It's here on the podcast. You sign Mason Mount. You're not starting him in the derby. You're killing me, Smalls.
Brought him in.
He does come in.
What'd you think of that?
But the issue here is he takes off the only CDM. We're down a goal. And I felt that at the end of the day, Garnacho, like for like, Antony coming on, that would have been better at the end of the day. Having McTominay at 10, Bruno on the right, put Bruno in the hole, put Rashford on the right, put Garnacho on the left. There's so many more options where we would have given up our defensive shape and we could add a little more teeth to the attack instead of just blowing a hole inside our midfield. And it was over early in the second half.
It didn't work. I think we had even less control in the second half than we had in the first. Probably losing CDM is not going to help. I was happy to see Mount. You know, we got to play more of him. He has the high work rate. Obviously, there's a talented player there, but nothing went our way today, bro. You know, and the subs didn't make sense, didn't work out. So let's get into that second half.
All right, we came out, had a good opportunity. Rashford had a set piece towards the edge of the area to Fernandez, whose swerving right-footed strike is saved well by Ederson. That was in the 47th. So one quick chance for United, and then on the counter, 49th minute, pain train.
Alvarez. Grealish. Bernardo Silva. And Haaland! Build-up was utterly glorious. Manchester City caressing the ball from deep in their own half. Entering United territory. And then being utterly
Are they
clinical.
slobbering over Man City all game? Because I had it muted. By the end of the game, I muted it because they were just like too much.
No, it was brutal.
Too much.
It really comes down to the fact that you got Lindelof, Yagen
Johnny
here. So,
Evans.
like, you play that many center backs and Erling Haaland's unmarked on the far post. I mean, it makes zero sense. And it's just bad. It's the organization bad, getting back into shape bad, the work rate bad, everything about this is just horrible. It's just this is United. It's just sloppy football. You have to see it. You have to understand the game. Like, everyone's at a different level than we are. You know, everyone's more organized. Everyone knows their role. Everyone's better coached right now. This is just it's mashed potatoes football. There's nothing about it. You're just going to lose like this all the time. And like you said, it could have been 6.
This is their trademark goal. You know, this is like the tap-in equivalency. They cut back far post, chip, header. Like, how many times have we conceded that goal to a Foden, to a Haaland? They always score this goal. Sure, but who the fuck is at the far post? It's like, Jesus Christ. You don't do that, you're going to have a really long day against a team like City.
All right, 73rd minute. We're down 2. We need a goal. Manager takes out Højlund, our striker, brings in Garnacho. Didn't understand that one. Then Reguilón is coming on for Lindelof here as well.
I mean, Lindelof looked dogged. I don't get the Højlund one. I agree with you there. Lindelof looked fucking gassed, so that one made sense to me. It didn't matter anyway. The game was already over.
All right, 80th minute.
Rodri. And he'll fire one, and it'll come for Erling Haaland, and it'll be touched in by Philip Foden. Stockport-born, lifelong City fan. What better feeling for him than to seal the deal in the derby?
But this is a sign
It
of
hurts
quality
it's that
player.
easy to score against us, but it is. It is. It's just, that's just... All right, what do we got? Don't worry, we got Antony and Martial coming on. I said
Martial, bro. Their backup striker is better than any striker we have. And we got Tony Martial who can't run coming on, bro.
it don't matter who's coming on because we play horribly and are not organized and have no idea how to win a game. Like, you have to understand, like, you pay £100 million for more people and put them in this team. You're not winning anything. It's not even
Open heart
question.
surgery. We need a new head.
Like I said, the worst part about this is when you look at who's coming in, it's just like, don't even bring him in. Martial, Antony.
No, Martial, you're
for
better off
Rashford
bringing
and
Hannibal.
Eriksen.
Bring Hannibal.
Exactly.
Like Martial does nothing. I hate to say it. Like, we rooted for him for fucking what? He's been in the club for 8 years? Jesus Christ. And we've been rooting for him, but like, he offers you nothing because he doesn't run.
Antony got a yell in the 92nd. It was like a big kick out on Doku. That's like your contribution to the team. And then, unfortunately, Fernandez hacked Doku as well. The captain getting another yellow. I would say these yellow cards the captain is getting is not a good look. It's been quite a few of them this season.
Worried about yellows?
Just if you're the captain, you shouldn't be like kicking out of players, complaining the ref getting yelled. Like, there's certain types of behavior, you got to be you have to comment on it like a little bit. We'll get to the Roy Keane. Look, man of the match, Onana played well. Post-match insights, Manchester United were beaten by 3+ goals in a Premier League home game against Man City for the third time. 6-1 in 2011, 3-0 in 2014, and 3-0 in 2023. Their joint most defeats by such a margin against a single opponent, along with a 3 versus Liverpool. And Manchester United have lost half of their games in the Premier League this season. Their most defeats from their opening 10 games of a league campaign since 1986-87. So setting new records to the downside. Tough for Manchester United fans all around. Looking at the stat sheet, 7 shots. They're 21. That hurts even more, sir. I didn't even see it. I think XG was like they had 4 to our like.
It's 4-1.
4-1, yeah. 3 on target to for United, 10 for Shitty, 39% of the ball to their 61%. Dominated us. Absolutely dominated us. 89% pass accuracy was easy for them. But we don't. What do we know? Let's check in with the manager.
For this stage, the most divers you've had at Manchester United, where does that rank? Is that one of the most disappointing?
Pardon?
Is that one of the most disappointing days you've had as Manchester United manager?
Yeah, of course it's disappointed, but last year we had many highlights, and so far, not now. And of course, when you lose the derby and then in the way we lose, that is disappointed, because first half we had a very good game plan. The execution of the game plan was also very good, and it was toe-to-toe first half, very similar. But then the penalty, of course, changed the moment. And then second half, we choose to go more offensive, and then the 2-0 is too quickly. And from that point on, it was a very difficult game, yeah.
There was a lot of surprise about Johnny Evans starting ahead of Rafael Varane and Victor Lindelof starting at left back. Do you stand by those calls, because they didn't work together?
Pardon, last?
Do you stand by those calls? Because
Yeah, they played very well, I think, the center. And with Onana, they played very good game. And just what I expected. They will come and press us, and no one can actually be surprised. I said it from the beginning, that I need their players on the left side who can make angles and also to step in, and especially against City with the side as they press us, and you have to step in to get the press on them. So I think they did it very well.
Alrighty, you heard the manager there, sir. How are you feeling? He defends the Evans-Lindelof combo. Says tactical. Said it worked. What do you say?
Whatever. I don't know. I mean, like,
right?
First half, I
injured.
don't disagree with him on the first. Like, I thought we were in it in the first half. The penalty is a backbreaker. Like, you can't argue against that. Second half, it was all over the place. But it wasn't very good. And you know what? He's got culpability. Of course, he's got huge amounts of culpability. And you know what? He's got to... Bro, 90% of what any fucking manager says after or before game is bullshit. It's just like, they're playing the game. And he's playing the game. And it is what it is. And it's like, they got the shit kicked out of us today. And what are you going to do? You're going to say we're a bunch of losers like we are? Like we're saying? No, of course not. But let's hear what my favorite person has to say.
So on the manager... it's a tough one, ultimately, like, he's eating crow. Like, clearly you're right. He's just like, but we were talking about it, and it's just, this season has been unbelievable. It's like the fall off from last year to this year has been unreal. Right. And is that Ten Hag's fault? Like, no. I'm sure there is something else going on. Like, my whole point is that, yes, the Glazers are horrid. We've been saying Glazers out ever since we started this podcast. Been Glazers out ever since we followed this club in 08. Do we need a director of football? Are these guys incompetent who purchase players? Yes. Are they purchasing Anthony for $80 million because the manager says he wants to go get him? Yeah, they are. And Anthony sucks and he's not helping out Ten Hag right now. But that does fall at the feet of Ten Hag. If he's like, hey, pay $70 million for Højlund, that's the guy, or get Mason Mount for $60 and don't play him, it starts to kind of look bad.
They don't pick the price, bro.
Right? But of course, but what I'm saying is, like, the manager's asking for Mason Mount and he's not playing him. So he's got to be evaluated on that a little bit. Now that's off the pitch stuff. Behind the scenes, you have the Sancho fallout. Sancho's obviously like, we've seen these boys with Rashford. Rashford's out of form. What's going on in the locker? I would love to be a fly in the locker room because I think something else is festering at United, right? Everyone wants to say it's coming from the Glazers. They're not in the locker room. They're in Florida. What's going on at the training ground? What's going on at Carrington? What's going on with the people who are friends with Sancho? What's going on with the manager? I have a feeling there's something else going on because you don't go from the way we were last year to this without something falling apart. And I don't know what it is. Clearly, you can't put blame on anybody because I don't know, but something's going on. You don't, everyone is falling off a cliff and it makes no sense. And something is up, I think. And it's like, maybe we'll come out, maybe in time, but something smells off at United at the moment. And you can't blame the manager, but players don't look like they're up for it. He's getting these new guys, throwing them in. It just looks like we're all over the shop.
I mean, it's obvious that something's off, right? Because we played well last season for large parts of it, and now we're playing abysmally, right? Like terribly. And, you know, maybe we weren't as good as we were last year, and I don't think we're as bad as we are this year, but shit's a mess. Fuck Jadon Sancho. Who gives a fuck about Jadon Sancho? That guy's gone, and he's not relevant. He's just another L.
No, but
in
it's
the
just
transfer
like
kitty.
he could be.
Yeah, but
friends
he's
with
not.
people,
Doesn't matter,
you know,
dude. Jadon Sancho deserves like no extra attention around like how he was treated versus the other guys who were frozen out and then got brought back into the squad.
The point is, we don't know the full story, dude.
we
We're
don't know the
not
full
there.
story about anything.
So, like, Sancho could have gotten and then, like, other guys think it's wrong, and then they don't want to play for them. Like, in theory. I'm not
Sure,
saying this happened. I'm just saying,
we
like,
don't have no idea.
Something's going on at this club.
But there was a
where
sale
it's not going
process
well.
that dragged.
Yes, it
right?
could.
Maybe they thought there'd be a new owner in the summer, and that shit's just dragging and dragging. Maybe that is fucking with their head. Maybe that's fucking with the manager's head. Maybe there's, like, discontent about
It seems like
transfers.
a manager-player issue in my...
I don't know. I have no idea,
It
but
looks
it's a
like
mess,
players
bro.
not wanting to be... It's like, again, it's just like players not looking like they're up for it, right? And it just... Something about this situation at United, it looks like the players want to get out of it. It looks like the manager is kind of like staring... 1,000-yard stare for the manager. Players not playing. Giving up, like 60th minute, people are like giving up on this team. Like
We've
out there.
we've been seeing that since Ole, since Jose.
Yeah, but that means they're not held accountable.
It's been happening for 5 years, 6 years. It's like they've been dropping their heads. They've been going through the motions, not tracking back, not showing heart.
But that's not
This is
what
not new, bro.
should be going on.
Of course it's not,
And
but it's not
I don't
new.
think, but here's the thing. Ten Hag is not telling these guys to go out lay an egg for 14 games.
It's not.
But they are.
They are. They're not running.
And guess what? These are the same players who played for Ole, who played for Rangnick, who played for a lot of people. And maybe the players are to blame. We don't know, but something's going on. And this is like the point I'm going to make. Like, we're going to play the Roy Keane Fernandez comment, you know, and like, I watched him today and I don't like what I see out there wearing the armband for Manchester United. I don't think you should take it away from him, but I didn't like what he was doing when we were getting beat by Liverpool that big. And I didn't like what he was doing today. And that is not captain material from my perspective. You know, so like Roy Keane coming in hard on him. And again, I don't think Bruno's the problem, but it could be something that adds up to all this stuff we're talking about behind the scenes.
You know, I feel like I'm just attacking Eric Ten Hag. But a big decision he's made captain. Bruno Fernandes should be a captain. We sat here with two Manchester United captains.
The
Bruno
first thing
Fernandes
I would do
is a captain for Manchester United.
After today, I haven't watched him again. Obviously, I would definitely take the captaincy off him, 100%. I know it's a big decision, obviously, to change the captaincy with Maguire, but Fernandes is not captain material. I think he's a talented player, no doubt about it. But what I saw today with him again, I know we've discussed this many times before, was at Liverpool last year. His whinging, his moaning, his throwing his arms up in the air constantly. It really isn't acceptable. What we saw today, I'm thinking, I would take that off him. Because I think you have to start somewhere. You're talking about where do you make change? You're talking about board level, managers. I would start at that because the manager is capable of doing that. And hold his hand up and say, listen, I got it wrong. Fernandes is a brilliant footballer. But in terms of captain material, he's the opposite to what I would want in a captain.
What do you make? You're a big Bruno supporter. You thought you should have the armband, sir.
Turn the soundboard up, bro.
We got it.
And only in sex masochism. Then it is allowed.
What is this, a pain parade?
It's like he's whinging.
Sure, he's whinging, bro. Like, who's the last captain? He wasn't good enough. The captain before that, he wasn't good enough. No one's good enough to be the captain of Manchester United. It's like the expectations are impossible. No pundit will ever go hungry talking shit about Manchester United. And I know
that's Roy Keane.
I know that's Roy Keane. Hold on a second. I know. But Carragher's talking about it when he's doing coverage of the Champions League game.
But that's just like Roy
Being
Keane,
captain-
who I trust, and was like one of the best captains we've ever
Yes,
seen.
he's
for
probably
this
the
club,
single best captain
is
we've
literally
had,
like
probably.
saying that's no good, and we don't want that player to wear the armband. And it's like kind of like a
He's a whinger. Dude, I'm not going to defend he's a whinger, but he's also the best player on our team.
Does that affect the
He's
team?
tracking back when other midfielders are not tracking back, and he's very emotional. He's clearly very emotional. He overreacts. But who's next up, bro?
That should be the captain.
Who's next up? Who's going to be the captain of this team?
Johnny Evans.
What are you fucking talking
Mason
about?
Mount.
Mason Mount doesn't play. Johnny Evans
I'm
doesn't
just
play.
joking.
Varane injured all the time. Casemiro's injured all the time.
I think
Who's gonna be
I think
Rashford
that,
doesn't run. He doesn't track back. He's playing like shit.
Luke Shaw should be the captain of Manchester
Yes,
United. most
actually,
likely.
you know
Yeah,
what?
Actually.
If I take Luke Shaw, and I
Yeah,
like
and
Bruno,
Onana's
bro,
probably-
and if Bruno's
Onana's
not
probably
the
in the
problem.
making, in my
Here's the
opinion,
thing:
yeah.
it's like he's a scapegoat,
No,
and
but
we
it's the
always find
ingredients.
scapegoats at Manchester United. Everyone, you find a scapegoat. The manager's a scapegoat.
No.
The Glazers are just. If I may, you have an opinion. I have an opinion. Glazers are a scapegoat. The manager's a scapegoat. The captain's a scapegoat. Maguire was a scapegoat last year. He was the manager. Now Bruno's he's a whinger. Everyone hates Bruno if you're not a Manchester United fan. I get it. But at the end of the day, sure, he's a whinger, but he ain't the main problem. I don't think that, but, I don't think that.
I don't think by taking the armband off Bruno that is going to solve anything.
He's gone,
I
by the
agree.
way. If you take the captain off him,
No,
he
but-
leaves in the summer.
There's something about this team not showing up and giving up, and he's wearing the armband that probably doesn't help it, and it's a symptom of what we're seeing. And that's all I'm trying to say. And yes, he was around with Ole, and he was around with Rangnick, and he's around with Eric Ten Hag at the moment. Now, I don't think he's a bluffer, but I just don't know if he's the best captain. That's what I said. I think he's a great player. We need him on United. I just don't think he's captain.
I don't disagree.
I think
Being
the
a
captain
captain's
is like
hard.
first guy to show up, last guy to leave, like never shook,
Get all the
always
heat,
there,
you get all the
calming
heat.
everyone down. When like calming Bruno down when he's hot, like that's the captain in my opinion, right? And something's off at United. And when your captain's wearing your emotion on your sleeve, and it's not going for you, I think it adds to it a little bit. And I like you said, it's not a scapegoat for me. It's just what's going on at United. We have to look at this stuff. It's a brutal. It's a mashed potatoes. Bum fights FC, baby.
Let's go on to the next. Let's go. All right. Put a fucking fork on this bitch. Let's move on, bro.
Okay.
Let's bury this.
Okay,
Okay. Bury this with the bodies out by the Meadowlands.
We got
bury me too while you're at it. I'm fucking like, Bruno's the worst. This is painful.
No, but it's
dying.
It's a rough day.
Yeah, it's always a rough day when we play a good team, bro. We lose all the time.
Okay, we got hot sauce, salt. We ate the L.
Are we moving on?
We're moving on.
Who else are we gonna shit on? You know who else is a bum? Who else?
Who else is
Go
a
through
bum?
our
Go
limit.
through
I mean,
it.
they're all bums. Rashford's a bum. Anthony's a bum.
Anthony's a bum.
I like
for sure.
Hoyland, bro. I think Hoyland's gonna be a player. Like today,
Yeah,
he's
but we're
not
gonna
dated.
ruin him because he can't not start.
This
him.
club
Like,
is
he needs
fucked,
to be
bro.
like-
We are fucked. We're in dire straits. The whole club needs to be like, dude, Ralph Rangnick, crazy German bastard, but he was right. It's open heart surgery. You need to sweep the squad, rebuild it, another billion, another 5 years, easy.
No, the
probably
solution-
a new manager, totally new front office, fire everyone who has any control at all, and it'll take a decade if you're lucky.
I said the solution is literally get rid of every single player
It
at
is.
a fire sale. You get rid of everyone.
City
except
did over time.
You should literally get rid of every single player, and you should burn down the training facility and the locker room. Everything that
Burn down.
Sir, everything.
If I may.
Everything that these players have touched needs to be destroyed so that nothing
That would
of this
include Old
era
Trafford, by the
could
way.
ever. No, but you just got to redo the whole locker room so that nothing from this era is ever the same again, and no one who you bring in ever touches anything associated with this. Like it has to be just like, just burn
Salt
it down,
the earth. Salt the earth. Salt it. Nothing will
It
ever
is literally
regrow.
like that's what you
Go
need
to
to do.
Carrington, salt it.
Yes, so it's even more than
We're so
open heart
dramatic.
surgery.
We're
It's
so
like
dramatic.
salt the earth. You have to get rid of everyone. You have to like, sorry, Hoyland, you touched it. You're gone.
I like
you
Hoyland.
can't
I
be
do like
associated
Hoyland.
with. Like literally, you gotta get rid of. Like you have to get rid of everybody. We said it. It's-
It'll take a decade. Trust me. By the time we get the right people that are motivated with the money.
Casemiro playing for us in 2027, bro. Yeah, exactly.
If his knees hold up.
All right. Well, we got something to look forward to. We got a next match. You know why we're pumped? We're playing at home, sir. We got Newcastle United EFL Cup. That's right. We are the defending EFL Cup champs, sir. Feather
ours.
in your cap. when we lose this one, it will be tough. As far as the Titans left in this competition,
Come on.
we have Liverpool are still in it in the fourth round proper.
City are out, bro. If we win this game, it's big.
West Ham
Gunners
United,
are still in it.
Chelsea, obviously, they're struggling like us. But again,
nobody
you
cares.
know, it's more of a crisis that it is United, not them. No one cares.
Nobody
about that.
cares.
So this is like, you lose this game. You go back in the locker room, you say, man, that sucks. Everyone's going to be hating us on the socials, etc. This is a perfect opportunity because always on to Cincinnati. It's always about the next game. This game, if this team was going to show up, it'd be the 15th game of the season. They didn't show up for the
Lucky
first
number
14.
15. Lucky number 15.
They didn't show up for the first 14. But this 15th game, they better show up.
I got a feeling this is the one, baby.
I don't know if they are, but I'm saying there's like no excuse not to turn up for this one because you get into the next round. There's like 8 teams left. You can get to a final, like save it. This is very winnable for United. And this Newcastle United coming in, who, by the way, we beat in that final, and the footballing gods are cruel because they are coming into United and they're going to put a stake in our heart.
This is either the game where we turn it around or Eric Ten Hag, the whole thing falls apart.
There's no signs of us turning it around.
No, but I'm just saying.
I agree with
No,
you,
this is it. This is like either like everything, the wheels fall off and we get beat up by the fucking Tunes, or like we grit it out, put it in performance, and then like the schedule gets very fortuitous for Manchester United, or it just falls apart. This is such a big game because everything can fall apart.
We're coming up against it.
Everything can fall apart. And by the way, if you look over like the trajectory of the last 3 managers, it's all fallen apart in November.
Sir,
this is
this season
This
is
is
gonna be
death month.
House of Horrors. I'm telling you, it's like Halloween's coming up.
Bro,
we're
it's
gonna get like bounced out of this.
Season just
We're gonna
started.
Play,
Season just started.
Then somehow we're gonna get Europa League football, and it's like I think that is when the fans will lose it.
They are losing it. They were booing at halftime, bro.
I don't know. Look, big game. You know, Saudi. You know, this theme of sports washing and all these like big Middle Eastern funds coming in. Last 5 against Newcastle. Lost 1, won 2, drawn 2. Obviously, we beat them in the League Cup final in February, but the last time we played them, it was away. They destroyed us. Blew the doors off.
Destroyed us 2-0.
That was a bad one.
I know, but it's 2-0.
We went up
They
there.
dominated us.
If
No, I
we
remember.
beat
They
them,
dominated
top
us.
4 was secure, and they minute 1 outworked us.
But we finished above them,
It's
sir.
just the way that they went about it. And again, this is a tough one for United, tough spot for us, sir. And obviously, you know, I'm nervous. I'm
very nervous because we're losing hope, man. You know, I'll never give up on this team. This team is like a religion, you know, the equivalency I can think of. And I'm not going anywhere, bro. I'll follow this team into the depths of hell. I've said that before. I will go anywhere. I'll do anything. But I want some hope, and I want some good football, and I want to win, bro. I want to win just like everybody else. I care about the standards of Manchester United. I care about the history of this club. I care about the badge and putting pride on that from whether it's the manager, the owner, the fucking players. I want to win, you know? I'm sick of losing, bro. I'm sick of shit football. I'm like everybody else.
All right. Injuries are actually improving. Martinez out. Malacia out. Shaw out. AWB's out. Casemiro's out. Sancho's bounced.
Sandwich.
Jaden Sandwich.
Au revoir.
And Ahmad obviously out. Sir, given those injuries, what is your starting 11?
Delo, Maguire, Varane, Reguilon, Eriksson, Mount, Bruno, Rashford, Hoyland, Garnacho.
You gotta play Anthony.
No, fuck Anthony. Forget him.
I don't like him, but you have to play him because he has that. He
probably
has left foot.
He does have left, but not recently.
No, but you just like he does give you the width. He doesn't take people on because he's a bluffer. But like as far as like being a disciplined right wing,
he's
he
a
gives
starter.
you balance.
No, he's a starter.
So like I don't like him, but positionally you play him, and then you can bring in Garnacho, get creative.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, Onana and net, Delo. I'm gonna say Maguire, Varane, Reguilon. I'm gonna go with. I hope Casemiro makes it back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Casemiro makes it back. Casemiro, Eriksson, Bruno, Anthony, Hoyland, and Rashford. I think that's a good team. And if we played a team more like that, this game, I think we would have done better. I really think that 11 was perplexing, and the moves made were questionable from the manager.
Clearly didn't work.
Sir, you want to look up the bookies' odds here real quick?
Let's see what we can find, sir. Why don't you tell us the tale? Well, how you feeling? You think...
I'm going to guess Manchester United are going to be the favorites here, which we got to do the EFL Cup odds here.
You know, like how we do it live here? That's how we do it. That is how we do it. Odds checker. We're checking those odds. Dun, dun, dun.
All right, I'm going to say Manchester United are favorites, which we are.
United plus 115
plus 115
at home.
Newcastle plus 245, the draw plus 245. So Manchester United odds-on favorite. Man, I'd be betting Newcastle, honestly, if I had any money or were able to legally gamble in the state of California. Sir, given those are the odds, what is your score prediction for Newcastle EFL Cup?
I don't know. I'm losing it. I don't know. 1-0 United. We grit it out. Ugly win. We win. Or we lose like 4-1. What do you got?
Oh, we lose in this game. There's no way. I want us to win. All this comes down to, and the crux of the biscuit of this situation is: are we sliding down, or is everything ready for us just to bounce back?
Right.
And I don't see anything it would have to come out of such left field, similar to last season. Those big losses, and then all of a sudden Liverpool, we turned it around on a dime. It'd have to be like that. I think the players are bluffing so hard. Are they going to turn it but that's a manager player thing. I do. That's the problem is something tells me something's going on where these players don't like the manager. And that is adding, we should be bad, but we should not be as bad as we are. I think there's a player fallout going on. And if that's going on, we're only getting worse. And that's when you start getting, I'll tell you how you know. You get weird 11s, and you get questions about the weird 11s, and the manager's defensive about those 11s. We've seen that with LVG. We've seen that with Mourinho. And that's how it usually comes. And so, we're starting to see the signs of all this stuff. And I hope that's not happening. I hope because we have yet to come out and been let's go. Why is McTominay getting a game? Players you trust.
Well. I know.
Players you trust.
I know. That's when you're falling apart.
That's when you're dead man walking.
No, this is, like I said, this is where either we turn the season around and have some respectability for the next fucking Christ, 7 months of season left, or it all falls apart and Erik ten Hag gets fired before the end of the calendar year.
This is the straw that could break.
No, this is
if you lose this game and you lose it in a way,
then you got Luton,
you got
all these really beatable teams, but if you lost the dressing room, it doesn't matter. He'll get blamed. He'll get fired. But remember, bro, these players are bluffers. They've
Nobody
been here forever.
wants that to happen. For the record.
I don't want that to happen because that will be. We're not going to get better. We don't get better when you fire the manager mid-year.
No, but it
didn't work with Ole. Didn't work with Rangnick.
It becomes this whole thing. I think this is where the internet gets it wrong, right? It's because everything in the internet just turns into black and white.
Yeah.
Right. So everyone's saying how could you be Ten Hag out? How would that help anything? What's going on? How could you be Ten Hag in? Well, what we think actually doesn't matter. It's what the players think. Right. Yeah. So when the players give up playing for a coach, it doesn't matter what Alex and I think about the manager. It is the players are under contracts, big money contracts for a long period of time. And when it gets toxic, there's only one chance for the team to do, and that's get rid of the manager and also blame the manager so that the ownership looks better.
Exactly.
Right. So
Classic.
It's a forcing function of the situation, not necessarily what anyone wants or what's the better idea. It's just the ultimate inevitability is that if this group of players is not playing well, who are on lots of money and they don't like the manager, the club will change. And that's because it's a different era, right? It used to be with, if you're a Pep or you're a Sir Alex, players change for the manager. And at the moment you look at any other side where they have big money players like this, they swip and swatch managers all day long, sir.
Swoop and swatch.
Swoop and swatch.
We're going to be swooping and swatching and cutting, and it's going to get ugly. It's already ugly. Come on. Come on, Sir Jim. Save us. Who you bringing in?
Well, it just comes down to the fact that, like, if Ten Hag has lost the dressing room, then he should go.
Well, no, we will know.
You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, we'll know. If this is like a players don't like the manager, they're falling out thing,
These players don't seem to like a lot of managers. They didn't like Jose. They didn't like Ole.
You know why?
They didn't like Rangnick because they don't like to be told to run.
Exactly.
They're lazy
and they
fuckers
don't look in the mirror
who are
and guess
fucking
what? Yes.
bang average, and they can't even lace up the boots of a Keane, of a fucking Rooney, of even an Ole when he played. 'Cause at least he worked hard. Like, these players are lazy fucks.
Yes, and paid top
So much money.
dollar. And that is the core issue, is that the players are paid
well
top
said.
dollar.
Yeah.
All right, the financials came out. Manchester United actually had a hell of a year.
Talk to me.
Record revenue, sir. It's
And we were out of the Champions League this year, right? For this year, the year they're going over, right?
yes. So we're gonna say 650 million in revenue, record for the club. And this is what really kills you, is that amount of money that the club is making, given the financial fair play rules, should give United the number one advantage of any team in the Premier League, because they can spend more than anyone because they have the most cash flow to offset transfers. That's like literally the heartbreaking thing. And we just spend it on Anthony. And so, but look, this is why they're demanding the big price tag, 10 times revenue. That's $6 billion. It's easy to get there.
Good point.
You know, as far as the financial look, as a fan, do you want the financials to look good? Yes, you do. You do. But as far as the debt goes, this is the funniest part of everything. Everyone's now queued in on the outstanding transfer payments.
Yep.
We brought this
It's a
up a
big
long
number.
time
Isn't
ago
that a
and
big
argued
number?
with lots of people about this one, where I said the devil's in the details. And actually, if you look at what they owe, it's over $1 billion.
It's insane.
Everyone would focus on the debt, the term loan, and I actually pointed to the notes in the financial statements where they say, actually, this is the all standing
And the
standing
revolver.
obligations.
Right? They don't always acknowledge the revolver. They just do the term loan.
And so, yeah, I mean, like, we know this. This is no news. It's just now that people are queued in. The Athletic, shout out to them. They're reporting it correctly. But we've been reporting this extra shadow 300 million pounds owed always. So I always said it was 900 million pounds. I've argued with people on Twitter. They don't understand it. Now everyone's talking about it, which is good. I think we've come a long way as a fan base. No, we have come a long way as a fan base as looking at this stuff. But do we really want to be looking at this? No. But Manchester United is a public company. As far as what this means, it means the same thing. But they didn't take the dividend, right? That's encouraging. Ratcliffe's coming in.
Why do you think that was?
Well, I think it's because the blatant.
Because they still lost like 45 million pounds, even when they made 645 million.
Yeah, but it
in
comes
revenue.
down to free cash flow, which they have a ton of amortization associated with the contracts they add back. So they're actually like net positive, like probably 50 something million. So as it relates to United, it's like the capital structure is screwing this club up. Ratcliffe's coming in, and this era. So this is what kills you, the absolute backbreaker for the fans. What does all this mean? It means they literally spent that $400 million with Ten Hag, the credit card, on Anthony, on Mason Mount, and we don't got nothing. Like, we don't have nothing left. And so, like, literally, like, the next stage of United, if Eric Ten Hag like spent that $400 million and this is what we got, and they give up on him or whatever, maybe he gets canned. The next manager is like, there is no $400 million.
Bro, that's what
to
happens
spend.
every time. They did the same thing with Ole Magoo. We got Dan James. You got AWB.
Yeah, but they
for
should
50.
do it
Then
slowly.
you do it for Jose. You bought Pogba. You bought Lukaku. It's
I
the
know,
same
but-
thing. We
but-
just player power, manager power, and we have no continuity. We have no continuity across managers. So when they fire Eric Ten Hag, which they probably will in the next 12 months because we just know how this shit works, the next guy will not be Dutch. You know, he'll be some other dude. They'll bring in goofy ass Graham
we got,
Potter
like,
with his
8 guys from
38%
the
win rate.
Eredivisie, bro, and it's like this whole thing is
There are some
insane.
good players. Like Højlund is a good player. Forget the whole United's gonna fucking ruin him. That's true. But from a net neutral perspective, he's gonna be a good player.
Okay,
I am confident.
we overpaid grossly.
Maybe
$70 million for a kid to score 9 goals in Serie A. Get out of here! Are you
Sir,
kidding
he's
me?
a good
Like,
player.
He's a good player.
Yeah, 50 would have been fair, but
He's a good player at 45 or 50.
we overpaid.
Euros.
Sure, we
Yes.
overpaid, but he's
I'm
still
saying
a good player.
You
Whereas
can't overpay.
we overpaid for Anthony. I don't even think he is a good player. So there's two different things. You
Yes,
can pay-
I agree.
You could overpay and have a shit player, or you could overpay and they could be
You
a really
can't
good player.
overpay. The
All
whole
we
thing
do
is
is
about
overpay.
not overpaying. That's the whole game, is like not overpaying so that you like can leverage your balance sheet to like acquire better players and improve. Like, you got to sell.
And who's that on? It's the front office.
Of course it's on the front office. And things are good. The whole thing with Ten Hag that I hate, we brought him in. It should have been like 1 year, like, don't sign anybody. Just evaluate what we have. Get rid of guys. And next season, do like a little bit of business and build back slowly. And instead, it was like these 400. You spend the 400, you almost put him on the hot seat. You spend the 400, you put Ole on the hot seat. You spend the 400, you put Erik Ten Hag on the hot seat. And that's why you kind of have to like keep it under wraps and just keep it like a long-term project, and don't overpay for people. It's like, should be like literally like, you can never pay more than £50 million for anybody. That should be the new rule.
Unless you're so sure that they're going to be like a killer.
No, you don't. You don't buy big names. You just literally buy like pieces for $50 million, and then you let them improve over
nickels
time.
And dimes,
and
bro.
you defend Ten Hag. You give him time. Yeah. And instead, you buy the
He's got
entities,
no time.
You buy the mounts. You buy these guys, and it's like, it just looks. Him signing a Mount like it was going to solve everything and don't play him, that you can't do that. Dude.
Mount I have more encouragement. We haven't seen him, but like, I'm more hopeful about Mount than Anthony. I'm more hopeful about Mount than Anthony. I'm hopeful about Onana. I'm hopeful about Højlund, Casemiro, Eriksson, Martinez. He was world class last year. He was outrageous. But then you have the duds, right? And you know what? Anthony's a dud. He inherited Sancho. He's a dud. There's other duds in this squad, so it's like,
no, but Mount's probably not a bad player, but to sign him and not use him is
which makes no sense. So what's up?
But that's the manager. That's the manager.
Make sense to me.
It's like
he got injured.
He's available today. You know, he's not playing him.
I was shocked.
McTominay's. He wanted to get rid of McTominay. Now he's playing. It seems a little like all
over
over the shop, and you don't like to see that. It makes me nervous. Fan question, sir.
This should be fun.
At you, Bolson, that was as painful as I expected, maybe even worse by the officiating and commentating. I mean,
that commentating. I'm telling you, they were like,
let them know.
Dude, it was like, come on, bro. They're embarrassing themselves. It's like there's supposed to be some element of neutrality in calling a game. It's like they're all trying to be like talk sport hosts. It's fucking embarrassing. I had to mute it. It was so bad.
Was
they
that
were
Lee
slobbering?
Dixon, right?
Exactly,
Yeah,
bro.
like,
They're like licking Man City up and down. I get it. They're really good, and they're way better than us. But it makes it unwatchable. It's like fucking a joke. Sorry.
But here's the deal: Manchester United ruined like their careers. Right, you understand? So,
why do you think Jamie Carragher is so pissed off and thinks Bruno's such a bum?
Yeah, but you know what? It's got to be great for them right now.
Yeah, they're loving life.
Exactly. Okay, back to you, Bosun's tweet. Take nothing away from this team, though. They are awful. Can't come up with any excuses. Manager gets it wrong again. Players look like they have given up again. Rock bottom incoming. I have to agree with this statement 100%. And that is what makes me nervous, is I think something is going on, and we haven't seen the worst of it. And that scares the shit out of me, because it is brutal to watch right now. And, you know, I just have a feeling.
No, I think Newcastle is going to – it's over. I think like we lose, it's bad, and then it all just falls apart. There we go.
Well, here's the deal. We're on that trajectory, right? You know, we're on this we're sleepwalking into something
exactly.
bad.
Do a chainsaw.
And here's the thing: you could wake up to the upside, or you can keep sleepwalking into the chainsaw. At mhersey5 quotes Rangnick, "It's not cosmetic; it's open heart surgery." I mean,
and they fired him.
Well, he started talking the real, and they said, "Get the hell out of here."
We don't want no real.
At LM Tungu on Twitter, quote, "All credit to the lads. Only took 92 minutes to find their fighting spirit in stoppage time after thoroughly having their asses handed them. Absolutely dreadful that Glazers out, Bluffers out, everyone out."
That's right. Salt the earth.
At BryGuy666, "I know being a fan of a team, you'll have highs and lows, but United for years have been more lows. The players look like they couldn't care at all, and Ten Hag looks defeated. I think his days are numbered. Terrible day to lose. I wish the players cared like we all do." And that is the biggest statement, too. It's like the
players don't care, bro. Players don't care at all. Like, I know the manager cares, and he's probably getting it wrong, and he's probably done. But the players don't give a fuck, and they didn't give a fuck under Rangnick or under Ole or under Jose. They don't care at all, bro.
But, sir, your boy Bruno's out there for all those, you know.
But he was he whinges his ass off, but he was tracking back. Like, some of those guys weren't tracking back.
Today it wasn't his best, but he's not playing in the right role.
You think he wants to play in the
but
wing?
he's Rashford's been a part of all those guys too. I love Rashford. I love Bruno.
He wasn't good today. Rashford was
No, but I'm just saying,
bad today. I don't want to bag him.
Some people
I
are
want to
bluffing.
love this team.
Like
bro.
some
I
players,
love
are, again, I'm just asking questions, uncomfortable ones. At Randy Scrandy L, quote, how much more will it take before you're ready to admit Ten Hag ain't it, fellas? This isn't one-off result. This is commonplace. 5 losses in 10 to start the season has never happened before in the Premier League era. When is enough going to be enough? Worst United side I've ever seen. Look, I think there's a strong contingent slowly growing that don't like the manager. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's not going to be determined by us fans. It's going to be determined by what's going on in that dressing room. So if he loses the dressing room, there's no real argument to keep him around, right, at the end of the day. So let's see how it goes. And guess what? Any manager who gets sacked, it takes a while. People think it just happens on a dime. No, it turns into where it's like basically unavoidable.
And we don't move quick, right? They waited 6 weeks longer than they should have to fire Ole. They'll probably do the same thing, bro.
And they hired Rangnick, which is even worse.
They didn't hire a manager. They hired a DOF, but they put him in the wrong position.
At Red Devil Woody, rudderless performance. I don't see what we're about or what we're trying to do. I'm going to call the manager out as he doesn't seem to be coaching anything. Time's ticking, although I'm Eric Ten Hag in for the moment. Bruno isn't captain material. So getting, finishing this one up.
End it.
At D_Cole18. No manager can fix this club because every incoming and current player knows the people at the top don't give a shit. There are no repercussions for shit football. In fact, we reward shit football with longer contracts of players because we're afraid to spend more on the right type of players. I think this is a great...
Well said. Thank you for that. Making me feel better.
Great way to end it.
End it.
It's a tough day for us Manchester United fans, sir. And look, that's it. That's the podcast. Pod Therapy complete. You like the American Red Devils, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/American Red Devils. Also, check out our store, AmericanRedDevils.store. We have our Eric Ten Hag Army. Support the manager.
Okay.
EFL Cup champ scar.
I'll tell you what.
Code EFL Cup while we're still in it. You still get $5 off that one.
When he gets fired, we're gonna be shipping those scars out for reviews, boys. So pick them up while you can.
Era's coming to an end, sir.
Okay, you're gonna have to update the soundboard probably
That's
in
the quote.
23.
Nobody wants to see the manager go. We want to see this team pull it around. I think the players are to blame. Players are to blame. If they listened to him and they worked harder, we would not be in this position.
He's not telling them to go walk around and
but it's not
back.
But then it's like I feel like it was just too.
Everybody's to blame.
Sir, sad day for United fans. Let's just hope we beat Newcastle. We're favorites, but the bookies got us favorites. Let's go.
Bet Newcastle.
Give us our top 10 cities last 7 days.
We appreciate you, American Red Devils, sticking in with us. Number 1, how you doing? Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, Melbourne, Australia, Dublin, Ireland, Brooklyn, New York, New York, Miami, Florida, Manchester, UK. You changed the board. I don't know who's left. Houston, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina. Appreciate all you. Hang in there, folks. We only have each other. It's just a game, even though sometimes it doesn't
We'll
feel
do
like
it live. Fuck it.
Come on, sir. Come on.
No, you got it.
Wrap it up.
You're wrapping it up. You're wrapping it up. Wrap it up.
Appreciate all of you.
No, I mean, you're the real MVP if you're listening right now. This is staring down, sir. Staring it down. Only 14 games in. Let's go.
Before